I need you to know I'm not wearing pants.
Amazing. I am wearing pants, and now I'm jealous that I'm not wearing pants. What?
That you're not wearing pants, but you are not wearing
pants. I know.
Pants.
I'm jealous that I am wearing pants. I wish I wasn't wearing pants. I could take my pants off.
So don't take your pants off. Maybe not. That's not the type of programming. I mean, you could. Just, don't pan the camera.
It'll be a whole thing.
Because we're going to get into a whole industry that we're not into right now.
The Peony on OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Hey.
I mean, any port in a storm. Any port in a storm. I feel like this energy is very accurate to what this
to our guests
episode's energy is.
Absolutely.
Because our guests are as off the rails as we are. And there's two of them.
We have Robert Hyland and Christian of CoOp Comedy on the show this week. And oh boy, it's truly, I mean, I think our unofficial tagline is "we're off the rails," and this really just embodies it. And we figured, going into 2022, why not kick it off with a bang? Why not just really just
shut up, Lex.
Go in for it? What? Shut up? What?
That's what Robert. That's what Robert always says to Chris.
Am I?
Shut up, Chris.
Okay, I was like, wow, rude. Am I the Chris and you're Robert?
Oh, I know what a cradle.
No, don't cradle me.
I feel
I'm
like
fine.
we alternate.
What?
We're very fluid in our wearing of other people's skins.
We're skinwalkers. You heard it here first, everybody.
Should we rebrand the Peony as Skinwalkers? Does that podcast already exist?
I mean, I do want to host a supernatural paranormal podcast at some point in my life, so this might be it.
Amazing.
I'm just going to steal it, or I'm just going to drive us in a different direction.
We should. Oh my God.
Ghost hunting with CoOp.
We should go ghost hunting and record the podcast whilst in the area where we're hunting. Do like an on-location podcast, and yes, have guests.
Ooh.
Have guests.
Guests with us.
Yes,
there we go.
And if
TM.
Oh yeah. And you know what? Maybe it's real. Maybe it's me pranking everyone.
Maybe it's just us at Not Scary Farm the entire month of October.
I feel like I would still get lost, even if there isn't a corn maze.
There is not a corn maze yet. There's always room for improvement.
Not with that attitude. Yeah.
I'm saying yet. Like, it might happen.
My attitude,
there you go.
Yeah. Let's just go and build a corn maze and then sit in the middle and record the first episode of Skinwalkers.
Are we building the corn maze in Knott's Berry Farm, or are we just building it wherever?
I mean, wherever.
Great.
If we build it, they will come. The Skinwalkers.
We build a corn maze and suddenly every cryptid within like a 1,000-mile radius just shows up.
Exactly. No one take this idea. This is ours. This is not yet trademarked, but don't make me do that. Don't make me get litigious with you. Okay.
I will
just
say,
don't take the idea.
In addition to this idea, corn mazes, corn crops, crop circles, aliens, we might also be attracting them.
Crop circle maze?
Crop circle maze. There you go. Hey-o.
There is no exit once you enter, except into the sky. Because you get abducted by aliens.
Thank you. You go in, you just have to get to the center of the crop circle, and then whoop, aliens come and take you away.
I feel like considering, do you remember like a year or two ago when people were like, let's storm Area 51? I feel like there's enough of a market for an abduction corn circle maze.
Yeah. I mean, I just remember it being like, if we all show up, they can't fight all of us. And like, they are the military. I'm pretty sure they could, but okay. Yeah. Oh man, I'm into it. Let's do this.
I want to be, I wish I was a fly on the wall. If I could travel and shapeshift If I could travel in time and shapeshift,
oh my God.
I would want to turn into a fly and be a sentient fly on the wall of like the military strategy meeting where they were like, oh, there's a bunch of people that want to storm Area 51. Like, how do we respond? Like, I want to be in the room. Yeah, but I want to be in the room of like what they said when they heard that and like what they were thinking and just like the obvious like barbs.
Yeah.
I
initially, when you brought up Area 51, I thought you were going to talk about how like early in the pandemic when things were just fucking off the rails. I just was reminded the other night of how they like just let it slide in there that like, hey guys, aliens are real. We have proof of UFOs, FYI. And everyone was too preoccupied to give a shit. So, you know, except for me, I remember. I'll never forget.
All I'm saying is Mulder's been telling us this for decades. Okay. Decades. Yeah. And that no one would listen.
Theme song still fucks me up. I like, oh, can I show you a Christmas gift? Yes. So it's...
Are you going to communicate with aliens?
So shout out to Danny and his girlfriend Jen, both listeners of the show. And I just said Danny like we know who Danny is. Shout out to listeners Danny and Jen, listeners of the show. Fuck it.
Jen was our giveaway winner, which Jen, we still have to send you everything. And I'm sorry it's taking us this long, but this is who we are as people. Don't worry, it'll come in January.
Jen, listener of the show, Danny, who I think listens in the background sometimes. Anyway, they got me this like dope little thing.
I want to believe.
So I don't know if you can tell, it's a little crochet alien in a spaceship and it's abducting a cow. And, if I play it.
I'm obsessed.
So it's going to have this thing in it where you pull it and it. So when you pull the cow, it gets slowly abducted and then it plays the X-Files theme. I know. I lost my goddamn mind. And then it has this just the cute little poster.
Rightly so.
So yeah, I gotta crochet it at some point. But
well,
what sneaky peeky for next week's guest? Yeah, maybe I'll hit up our.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we're saying.
For some tips, that's all.
Crochet master. Okay, but we should get into our conversation, our off the rails conversation with Co-op Comedy because
it's so fun.
I'm surprised that we haven't. Yeah, I mean, we kind of went off the rails just now, but we need to highlight these two folks because wow,
if you guys
so we got deep cuts and we got giggles and we very violently whiplash between the two.
Yep,
extremes.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good summation of our friendship and also Chris and Robert's friendship. So you put the four of us together and it's just insanity. So we hope you all enjoy. And if you're not already following Co-op, please do go subscribe and follow them on YouTube. Watch some of the videos if you need a laugh. 4,
3,
2,
1.
This is giving me PTSD to when we were in school and they made us break into groups or like corporate when they make you break into teams for the offsite.
Don't like that.
Fuck that.
Life is just a big group project, you know?
It really is.
How dare you?
No.
It is 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Do you think I'm ready for an existential crisis?
Welcome to Existential Crisis with...
That's basically this whole podcast is like, so what brings you the most amount of dread in your life? Let's talk about it on air.
We can get into it.
Yeah.
What's your deepest trauma?
Let's start there, fellas.
Failure.
Yeah.
A lack of
direction. So you went into comedy. That makes sense.
Yeah. Got a heart in the shell of failure.
We've encountered
Chris,
a lot of that.
What about you?
Oh, definitely just a lack of direction overall. Something.
So you also went into comedy.
Yeah.
Great.
As a sort of last resort.
We are such good role models for the youth.
Fuck them kids.
They're going to deal with this same shit, so they got to get ready.
Yeah. And, who knows what the future holds for really any of us at this point.
Does it matter?
Death.
Just a big rocks floating in air. Who cares?
Might as well party.
Might as well eat string
Welcome
cheese.
everybody to the Peony. We're here with Co-op Comedy. Robert,
For a very uplifting
Chris,
episode.
thanks for being here.
Thank you for having
They
me.
say they
and
were
him.
comedians. I feel sad now.
I was supposed to bring the
Comedy
ha-ha.
comes from trauma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes people funny. Your personality comes from all of your.
That's why I really hope. That's one of the things I hope. People say like, "Oh, I hope my kids become a doctor, a lawyer, this and that." All I want is for them to be funny, which means that I'm also sideways, kind of hoping they get bullied a lot. Which is like, you don't want that as a parent.
But you
bullying's
do.
bad. But like me, it carved me into who I am, and I like who I am now. So.
So
Go get bullied,
nerds.
children. No,
I
like
support
literally
that
go
journey
get
for your
wrecked.
children.
And then later you get to use it.
Yeah, you become
for the
better.
public. Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron, guys. Come on.
Listen, I volunteer. Okay, I volunteer to drive by
Robert's
heckle
kids.
your children.
Okay, great. I'll tell
Dad,
you where
who's
they
that
go whenever
mean
they go to
lady?
school.
Don't worry about it.
Great. You can just pay me in coffee.
Don't worry about Aunt Julia. She's fine. She has yelling issues.
That is true. That is true. They gonna learn today.
Hell yeah. So what is it that you guys do again?
Chris,
Yeah, it isn't very clear.
go ahead, Chris. Take that one.
Thanks. I was really hoping I would get this one. And it's good to hear that it's not clear, because it's going to help us in the long run better define what we do, which is we make. If I had to put it in words, I would say we make. Currently, we make gaming centric comedy videos on the internet. But overall, I'd say we just make comedy videos on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
We could go back even further. How'd y'all meet? So for listeners, if you've gone back that far, Chris was on one of our early episodes, aka Robo Dessert, talking to us about being a streamer on Twitch.
I'm a streamer.
He's a streamer.
I'm a gamer.
So y'all.
What was
met
the question?
through
You
Twitch,
cut
right?
out for like a split second.
I'm just gonna make it up. I think you did.
Am I the only one?
Is Lex frozen?
Yeah.
I'll ask
Oh.
the question. How did you guys meet?
Chris is frozen too.
Oh, I think their internet.
Oh, is Chris
I
frozen?
think their internet just.
What?
Oh.
It's because you're in the same house.
Dang.
You're not meant to be here at the same time.
This is what I've been dealing with.
The
So
jig is
what's-
up. You guys are roommates.
Damn, they know. It's so frustrating because I could see both Robert and Julia like perfectly the
Mhm,
whole time,
Mhm.
but I was like, "Damn,
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm here." I
It's
swear.
same. You froze for me, but they were totally fine.
Yep.
Wow,
Same.
weird.
Anyways, we
So
met
how
on
did we
Twitch.
You met where?
On-
book tour?
Robert was doing a book
I was
signing.
I was reading to the kids, telling them to get bullied. My bestseller on New York Times.
What was your book about?
Gotta Get Bullied by Robert Hyland.
Incredible.
I would love to see the illustrations in that book.
It's rough. I got
Hand
canceled
drawn by
immediately
you.
after my first reading.
right.
Yeah. So we met. I'm just going to go ahead and talk because they're frozen. We met on Twitch. No, you guys are back now.
Okay,
We
good.
met on Twitch. We were streaming, and then we we're both in like separate communities, sort of. And then I don't remember who exactly introduced or like kind of did like
I
a raid
remember.
onto a raid. Do you remember? Go ahead.
I remember Kate told me to come check out your stream, and I came over and we're hanging out, and then you came and like checked out when I was playing GeoGuessr.
Yeah,
and you were like, "Can we do GeoGuessr in Armenia? I'm from Armenia." I was like, "Yeah, let's
go
go to
figure
Armenia."
out my country. Go
Yeah.
find out where you are in my country.
And
he's
you
like,
ditched
"Can
me."
you help?" I'm like, "Maybe I could try."
Yeah, and then you ditched me there, and here we
I
are.
helped a little bit. I was at work,
At the beginning, you did, and then you didn't.
and I was like, "All right, I gotta go."
Internet friends.
Here we are.
Robert, where are you?
Right now, home.
Yeah. Where is
Southern
that? Like, what
California,
state?
LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you from California?
No, I was born in Armenia, and then I moved here when I was
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, basically.
Very cool. I was born in Moldova, and I moved to New York when I was 4.
Moldova. I'm going to have to Google that.
Mm-hmm. It's in the Eastern Bloc.
Got it. Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I sense some sort of neighborly energy there.
Is it because you both want to bully children and can't do you want to get us canceled?
Do you want to reminisce about the Soviet Union for a bit?
Ooh, you want to talk about bullying?
The Soviets.
Let's get into this.
Those were the good old days. So, Co-op Comedy, how did that name come about?
Oh man, we had a list of names. And that one was the best one. Yeah, there was Bits and Skits.
What were some of the other ones?
Bits and Skits.
Fun and Stuff.
We were really going through it because we were trying to look at things because we started out doing gaming content, and that's what we still do right now.
Yeah.
We were looking at like where's the intersection of like comedy words and video game words.
Yeah.
And so we just came out with like 8-bit bits or what, like all kinds of nonsense. And then landed on Co-op Comedy, which we actually really enjoy too, because we're possibly going to start experimenting with like non-gaming content.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Yeah. So now like Co-op Comedy is not, doesn't necessarily make you think of video games per se, but it fits with comedy overall and allows to experiment with some other things.
We kind of got lucky on that. It's not like pigeonholing us into one genre, so to speak.
Into a coop?
In a coop. People do be making that joke. Coop comedy.
Just a couple of chickens.
I do really good animal noises.
Oh, let's hear some more.
Give me an animal.
A donkey. Ooh, okay. Giraffe.
What noise does a giraffe make?
Oh, that one. Good job.
Hit me with a tiger.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. It's
pretty good. Whale. Soothing.
This is the next children's book.
There's another offshoot. I was going to say like soundscapes.
Oh yeah.
To fall asleep to. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Ew. What was that?
It was me imitating your tiger noise.
No, that was your cat throwing up a hairball.
I was going to say that does sound a lot like Haley when she barfs. So.
A lot.
Come on, man! Don't tread on my comedy. The animal noise is my thing. Stay in your lane. I'll start my own YouTube channel.
Okay, I have a burning question. So recently, you guys started doing your videos in suits. What's on the lower half? What's below what the screen can't see?
Sweatpants.
What's happening there? Sweatpants.
For me, it was jeans, only because I had gone out earlier in the day, so I still had them on because I'm lazy. But usually it'd be sweatpants.
Is like
I have
the
sweatpants
least lazy
now.
outfit, but all right.
Not if you're already wearing them, right? Like if you're already wearing them, it takes more energy to then put on sweatpants. So for me, I'm
How
here.
How tight
now.
are your jeans? Or like, what?
They're not
that
that
fight
tight.
an alligator before taking off your jeans? Like, why is it difficult?
Hey, leave my pants alone, dude.
You got problems?
He's a former emo kid, He's still just painting them on at this point.
My pants are thin.
Here's something
Circulation
for you, Lex.
cut off.
Robert does
Linkin
not
Park,
like
Robert?
pop punk. Robert is not a pop punk fan.
No.
I
mean, here's the thing, right? I've listened
own.
to it. In middle school, I did listen to certain groups. Can't name them right now, but could probably name songs. But I did listen to it, and I didn't hate it. But as I grew up, I was like, nah, I'm over it. I'm done. But do you? I'm still gonna make fun of it.
I make fun of it all the time, and I listen to it consistently.
There's a lot to make fun of there.
Iron sharpens iron.
You gotta bully the bands. That's how you keep them in line.
Well, I just want to say it's highly professional that you're wearing pants of any kind. That was not the answer I was expecting.
Oh, no, it's too cold to not wear pants.
A little disappointed.
Yeah, it's been cold lately. That's another feature. I will also say
for the people, what is cold for you?
Degrees.
60s,
man, right
yeah,
now.
60s.
It's my phone says 58, and that's a big no for me.
Ugh.
Big no.
Look, we live in Southern California.
Yeah.
Our blood is very thin. Like, leave us alone.
Yeah.
Just leave
I'm
alone.
wearing 3 layers, and my hands are freezing in my own home.
I've like tried to explain that to people. Like, insulation in a lot of LA apartments is just hot
Does not
garbage.
exist.
You're like, I'm just cold inside.
We might as well be
and
outside.
also outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in our apartment because our windows are really. What's the point of
They're
them?
just paper.
They don't really do anything.
They're see-through paper.
They're just like some plastic that somebody taped up.
It's the Truman Show. You're just on a closed set in LA.
Honestly, that might be the case. It just saved cost and reused an old set. We're like, it's an apartment building. I feel the need to go back to something you said, which is we started wearing suits in our videos. Just to clarify,
Oh yeah,
it was a bit. We don't
we're not
usually dress up.
professional.
We're usually just like in this or like a t-shirt or whatever.
It was a last-minute text. I was like, hey, what if we wore suits as if we were at the Game Awards? And he's like, ship it. And I'm like, great.
Let's go.
that's adorable.
Oh.
So so you guys do a lot of reaction videos. You also do some like gameplay and record yourselves as you're going through it. What have been some of the most? I've because I live with Chris, I've heard some of the like big reactions to things. What's been like some of the wildest moments that you guys have experienced while doing either of those?
The first one that comes to my mind, like I'm usually even keeled. I don't get hot headed, but like Chris is very much like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Fuck you, bye, and then he just like runs off to like do his own thing, right? And so we're playing Minecraft, which is like, let's play together, right? And it's like we have to explore together and do things together. That's the whole bit and the centric like theme of the show, co-op, right? And I'm in the house doing like creating something, I don't know, a sword or whatever we need, and then and he's like, oh, look at it over here. I'm like, oh, where are you? He's like, oh, I ran off. And that was like the last straw because this was not the first time he did it. This was like maybe the 6th time he did it. And I was like, play it off. But this time I was just like, listen, guy, it's co-op comedy. It's not single man comedy. Like you can't just run off, have your own one man show in the middle of the forest in Minecraft while I'm in the house making the sword. I just went off. But like, it was like, I wasn't really angry, but kind of have to. But he
was a little angry. I was
a little angry. But when I'm a little angry, I could expand it into a lot of angry with the jokes.
There was some anger there.
I remember doing that. I was just yelling at him.
Do that in real life, and it can confirm pisses people off.
Yeah, my children are afraid of you. You keep driving by there.
They should be. They should be. I'll just pop out of the bushes. Hey, fucker!
Constant vigilance.
Here we go.
Spill the chocolate milk.
Oh, not the chocolate milk.
Slap it right out of their hands.
Oh, you're in the school now. It's not just outside. Whoa.
She goes back to college. She gets her credentials to be a teacher at their school.
Just
long game.
Just to do that.
Uh-huh.
I could appreciate the long con.
Yeah.
I feel
Chris,
the need to
you?
defend myself against this accusation, but
Typical.
we have to get into the minutia of Minecraft.
Hey, Lex, can you mute him real quick? Thanks.
Chris will open the floor for you to defend yourself, I guess.
No, because we'd have to get into like the minutia of Minecraft, and like we don't have time to unpack all of that and all of Robert's caretaking, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, well, why? Why did you keep running off when you knew that the whole purpose of the game was to be in the same place?
Here's the thing.
Together?
So Robert has played Minecraft before. I have never played Minecraft before, so I'm very new to this. So Robert knows like what he's doing. So he's handled a lot of like the crafting and stuff because he knows what we need to craft whatever. And so a lot of times he'll just be at a crafting bench, like making stuff, which is a one-person thing. I can't help him with that. So a lot of times I would go collect the materials we would need. So I would run off and do that. So that was sort of our dynamic the whole time. But then this one day, suddenly, that made him mad.
Until their internet comes up.
Oh, man.
No. I'm here,
really
and
quietly in the
putting
background.
cramp in the defense.
there it is. We're back.
Hey, Chris. So you would run off.
So
I'll try to edit it back together.
I would run off and collect materials for him to use, right? So that'd become the dynamic. He's making stuff and taking care of us, and I'm off in the wilderness, chopping down trees and digging and stuff. So then that just became like the default. So I would, that day I was like, I'm going to go run off and explore and find some resources while he was at a crafting bench. I can't help him with that. I don't know what I'm doing, and it's a one-person thing, anyways. Even if I did know what I was crafting,
it's not that you do that; it's that you don't tell me.
Have you guys tried couples counseling?
No, but we should.
Co-op comedy is couples counseling. That's where we work out.
That's your new tagline.
In front of 12 people who watch our stuff. We work out our differences.
Yeah. Lex, what was the original question? How did you phrase it? What was
I don't know.
What was like the most
attention span of a goldfish? Why are you asking me what the question was?
I want to ask Lex's original question that she asked off air, which is if you were on a deserted island and had to eat. Go ahead, Lex. Ask it. I don't remember.
I think it was if you guys were on a deserted island, like who would eat the other person first? Like who's dying? Straight to that.
Who's dying?
Sorry. Or who's
because that's
gonna
two
try
different
to, like,
questions.
Okay.
If somebody dies and then you eat them, that's a different question than someone becomes a cannibal.
No. Murder.
Who's murking the first person first?
I don't know if I can kill
who's
anyone.
getting sacrificed first?
I don't know if I can kill.
I feel like Chris would run away.
Robert just start building a raft, and then Chris will be gone, out of sight.
I was going to say, like, I don't feel like I'm good at wilderness survival, but I don't know if you are either. Like, I feel like we're on pretty even terms there.
I've watched like Man vs. Wild a lot.
Sure, we've watched those fake shows. We've all watched those, but
no, okay, it's fake, but he kind of like teaches you. You know, his scenarios aren't. He's not really going to throw himself into death, but like he's trying to help you. You know,
sure. I mean? How much do you?
I'm also an
remember
advocate
from that,
for Man vs. Wild, so here I am defending it. But I don't know how long I'd survive. But I don't have a lot of fat on me. I think that's the biggest issue, right? You know, like my wife watches Survivor a lot. And so I've started watching Survivor and I like it a lot. It's really interesting, really cool. One of the things that they tell you to do is to like bulk up before going so that you have like all these reserves. There's one guy didn't do that and he was just like, he was shredded. He thought he was going on like Paradise Island or something. The guy came shredded and straight up passed out in day, I don't know, 5 or something because you're just so shredded. So I think it'll depend, right? Because I ain't got no reserves. I got nothing.
I've got
skin
reserves.
And bones. So he'll be fine.
Preparing for this.
I'll be dictating what. I'll be like, hey, can you make a sword? He's like, God damn it.
Here you go. It'll be the opposite of Minecraft.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to like reserve my energy. If I move slightly, I'll burn off 50% of my fat.
I gotta take it easy. Oh no.
So you're saying you would work together and you wouldn't murder each other?
Co-op comedy, everybody.
Probably, yeah.
Go up to the end.
Just bicker. Bicker until one of you dies from exhaustion.
Yeah, because we definitely like, I feel like this is our dynamic. We actually work really well together, but there's constant, like, not bickering, like not actual bickering, but constant, like, we're just constantly jabbing at each other the whole time. Always. I can't tell you, like, a go-to phrase will be like, I will say something to Robert, and he'll just be like, shut up. Like,
always.
Every time, without fail.
Shut up, man. Just shut up.
Just shut the fuck up.
And I mean it 0% of the time. Like I never, I just like being mean with my friends. Like I just like, I like that 0 to 100 comedy, right? Where like if someone's just talking, like and they're explaining something, and I'll just like at the very end of it, I'll just be like, "That's stupid." No, I don't even mean it. I was listening intently and everything, and just want to lighten the mood. Just a big
can confirm. Can confirm.
You just want to bully people.
That's true.
Ruin their dreams.
You're trying to make other people into comedians.
Join me in the brotherhood of funny.
Another of our rejected names.
The brotherhood of funny. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna write that.
It's got sort of like a mythological vibe happening.
Yeah.
It's a Skyrim faction. Video games, everybody.
Big video gamers.
Julie's like, what the fuck was the Skyrim?
I've played Spyro.
Yes.
And only Spyro for the past 20 years of my life.
Oh, nice.
You're good.
Continuously.
That's a great
My wife
game.
loves Spyro.
Spyro's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, my fiance is a huge gamer. Like, whenever any of the new games comes out, he's like all into it, and I'm like,
does he like
subscribe to CoOp Comedy?
Does he like gaming centric?
Me and Chris like, ooh, opportunity,
growth. Okay, so you guys started off streaming. Now you guys still stream, and you flipped to this. Has it like helped you with streaming in any way where you're like, oh, it's a little bit easier for me to manage, people being kind of wacky in the chat or anything like that?
I think streaming is harder than what we're doing now. So I think streaming prepared us for this more than the other way around. Because on YouTube, you kind of put it out there and then you step away from it and see the fruits of your labor, however small those fruits may be. And then, so the interaction with whether or not you're doing well, whether or not you're failing, whether or not all that is kind of like removed. When you're streaming, it's all live. If you're good, if you're bad, you're seeing it all. You can see your numbers. You can see people chatting or not. Like if you go to 30 minutes and no one's saying anything, you're already like, shit, am I boring? I'm boring myself. Like, are they like, you know what I mean?
You get in your head in the moment, like as it's going on, which then makes it work. Like, so it's very,
it's like
in the moment.
You're doing like a big block of 3 hours of a live show on stage in a way. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that hones you for YouTube a lot more than the other way around, I think.
Yeah.
How do you deal with those moments? Those moments where you like do end up getting in your head. How do you then pull yourself out?
I think, man, I don't know.
I don't. Let them
stay there.
I was trying to think of an answer, and I was like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really hard. I think, like, for me, a couple things that help in those moments is, like, when you first get into streaming, a tip you hear a lot is, like, always be talking. Just always constantly about the game. If something pops into your head, like, man, did I go to Wendy's twice yesterday? Like, whatever it is, just constantly be talking, because you don't know when new people are going to enter and then just haven't said anything yet. And there's also so many people that will put up your stream and then just like leave it running, almost like you're a podcast in the background while they're at work or while they're cleaning or doing dishes, whatever. And so, like, I think that sort of helps in one way, because it's like, even if I see that the chat's not active or something like that, I can know that doesn't necessarily mean that people aren't watching. It just means that maybe they don't have the time to interact in that moment. So I'm going to keep talking as if there's 40 people here or whatever, just like always act as if you have that higher number, because then it changes how you feel in the moment. And the more you like focus, sort of tied in with that, the more, like, if whatever game you're playing or whatever your activity you're doing, if you focus on that a lot and just like make that your attention as opposed to like what's going on over in the chat or how many viewers you have or whatever, then it helps redirect your attention from that, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, we don't know how to deal with that on YouTube yet.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Like, I'm going to do a deep cut for a second.
Yeah, let's go.
Because we live in this social media age where so many people, especially young people, see these huge influencers or these huge personalities that get all these likes and all these follows, and it's all in these numbers and analytics. And it becomes so easy to tie our self-worth to these numbers. So as people who are putting themselves out there to receive these numbers and seeing them, do you ever tie your self-worth to that? And if so, how do you then untangle that? Deep cut.
Oof. Absolutely tied to that.
I deal with this shit all the time, and I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, you're a whole person.
Yeah.
But it's hard. You get sucked into that shit.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, especially in once you start like actively working towards a goal in this sort of world, whether it's podcasting, Twitch, YouTube, whatever it is, like the numbers are just always there. They are in your face 100% of the time. You can like step away, but like Twitch you'll end a stream and it'll like send you an email like, hey, here's a recap of your stream. Here's all the numbers. And it's like impossible to get away from. So yeah, I like 100% end up tying myself to any number of those metrics. from time to time. I think co-op has helped me a lot in that working with Robert on something has allowed me to like focus on the content we're making rather than the numbers that we're seeing. Like, and that's something that I tried to start doing with my own stream too, is like we get so caught up in the fun that we're having with each other and like thinking about, okay, what do we want to try next? And like, we're still talking about numbers, but we're trying to, you know, use it from an analytical standpoint as opposed to like, man, that video didn't do well and that sucks and we're terrible. You know, just looking at it like, okay, that video didn't do well. So what can we learn from that? How can we change it? And then like, I think over time for me, like the more that I've been in this, the easier it's been to be like, because I'm sure anyone that's in any creative field deals with this, where it's like the amount of obstacles that you will give yourself to not put that thing out into the world, whether it's a video, a painting, a song, whatever, just never stop. So at a certain point, you just go, okay, just fuck it, just release this, and then move on to the next thing. And I think with co-op, we do so many videos at a time or whatever that like it gets a lot easier to just be like, okay, well that's in the past. We can't focus on that video forever. We have to focus on what's going on and focus on what we're going to do in the future. Which isn't to say that I'm removed from numbers at all, but I think focusing on what you're making as opposed to what you're getting out of what you're making, I guess, helps.
Yeah, definitely. I think we live in an age where we're so used to like instant gratification with everything. Like any question you have is a Google search away. Any product you want is an Amazon Prime purchase away, and you get it within a day. Like, everything has become so easy to like capture, which then opened up, you know, new ways to, you know, create a career and find success, and that like birthed the whole social media influencer career type thing. And now, because it looks easy, right? Everything looks easy on social media because all you're seeing is the end product. You're not seeing anything behind the scenes. That would be like if an accountant just shows their big stack of all these numbers or whatever they did, and they're like, well, there you go. And you're like, wow, great job. But you don't know the 100 hours it took to get to that like thing, right? But that's an old school job. And these are like new school where your product is just...
What kind of accountant are we talking about?
Either one, you know?
And so I think what the way, Julia, you were saying, like people are like putting their worth into these numbers. It's because they just want that instant gratification. Hey, I put up this video, I put up this picture. Why don't I have thousands of people liking it? It's like, well, because you have to put in all the hours to figure out how to beat the algorithm and do it correctly and do it consistently in order to pop off. I'm sure unless you're doing something that is completely brand new and you created your own space in that social media, then you're also just one of many. So you're going to have to put in the time in order to get that success, right? So like going back to accounting, I guess, because my wife's an accountant. Like if you were the first accountant, right? You're like, hey, I'm the first one to do this. Everyone's like, yo, awesome. And you can become a billionaire, right? But like then more people do it, which means that the field opens up. And so you have to just do it better or find another niche, right? The same thing is with social media. Thousands and thousands of people are putting up video game posts on Instagram or doing YouTube videos like we are. So unless you find a niche, you're not going to find that super quick success. So then you have to just put the time in to build your audience, to build your skill set and grow, just like a normal job. It's like me and Chris just started doing this almost not even a year ago. Maybe like it's been like 9 months or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's like we're 9 months into a career, right? You're not like 9 months learning to get a bachelor's or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, this is the beginning stages. So we're not going to pop off in 9 months. And so we have to just keep putting the time in and keep focused and learn as much as we can and just keep going forward.
Yeah, that's something that I always like think about, especially in the world of like Twitch and YouTube. It really because YouTube has been around for so long, and I talked a little bit about this the last time I was on the Peony too. Is like this idea that like nobody finds success in this like online world without putting in a ton of work. And especially now that a lot of like content creation overall has been out for so long, there's people that have been in it for 10 years or something like that put in work previously when they got into it. And now it like reinforces this idea that Robert was talking about, where it looks really easy because now their content is like there's like really, really popular streamers, like the top 3 streamers in the world, that will just like hop on their stream and like watch YouTube videos with their chat or whatever. And then people see that and go, oh, well, I can do that. And then they hop on with no viewers or whatever. And they're like, why aren't I finding success? I'm doing exactly what they did. It's like, well, no, you're doing what they're doing now that they already have an audience. So of course they can do whatever they want now. And it will still bring in 20,000 views or whatever. But that's because they put in the work 10 years ago. They did what you're doing now 10 years ago when it was like brand new and that was all they had. Like it's such a different field now. You don't see all the work that people previously put in to get to where they are, that allows them to do that easier thing.
Yeah. And I remember looking at a TikToker that is like totally blowing up right now. And like pulling up her Wikipedia, and it was like, she first got into content creation on Tumblr. And I was like, oh, okay. This is where it started.
Damn. Yeah. Well, we've talked about that with a couple of people, like overnight success. If you look at their IMDb or you look at their Wikipedia, you see like, no, that overnight success has been coming for 10 years. Like it truly didn't happen overnight. Robert, you mentioned something of like, the thing with being a streamer or a content creator or somebody on social media is it looks really easy. And what people don't see is all of the work that goes behind the scenes.
Right.
I know, because I, again, live with Chris. So I see how much time he's working and all of the stuff he's doing that's not on stream or not, going up on YouTube. How have you guys like managed that? I'm sure you guys have gotten comments from people of like, oh, anybody could be a gamer. Like, oh, what even is stream? People watch that. Like, I hear that shit all the time and I don't even do that. So how do you guys manage that? Do you just ignore those kind of comments at this point? Or I don't know, how do you not let that kind of bullshit get to you as you're trying to
fuck up the haters?
How do I explain to my parents what I'm doing?
Yeah, exactly. You're home for the holidays.
Lost cause.
I remember the first time I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, I got my first like money thing from Twitch. It was like $100-something. He's like, what? And he's like old school, Armenian. And he's like, what? Wow, who's giving you money? I'm like, what? He's like, what did you do? Like, he's like, he expects like I did something to get this money. Like, I don't know. Yeah. And I'm like, nothing. I'm funny, I guess. People like it. So people give me money for it. Like, and so I don't know. It's just, as far as like to answer your question specifically, I don't know if I've had that many haters. I guess I'm not as like, I don't know. I just haven't, maybe I've been lucky. I think the culture's kind of changed. I think that would have been a little bit more prevalent maybe 4 years ago when it was kind of still niche. But like ever since COVID hit and everyone's at home and then Twitch popped off and everyone knows about Twitch, everyone knows about streaming, a lot of companies popped up like catering to streaming. Zoom popped off and now everybody's doing like streaming like this to like just to be in a meeting, right? So this idea of being live on camera while sitting at home kind of is more explained in a way, like everyone else kind of has an idea of what it is. And so, and I think that kind of changed. Maybe I'm just not really seeing it on my end, but I don't know. I feel like that kind of has gone away in a sense, but I'm sure but I think what happens now is more people think that I'm going to do this and find success rather than, oh, you're doing this and finding success. Like instead of being a hater, people are becoming more like, why not me? I'm doing this now like everyone else. Why am I not finding success? And to everyone who thinks it's easy, I mean, just go to any Twitch like page, go to whatever game you're interested in and just scroll down because you'll immediately see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people streaming to one person, 2 people, 0 people. And that'll give you the idea of like there's thousands and thousands of people, but they're not making money. They're just literally sitting there and not, finding the success that you think is so easy to achieve by turning on the camera and playing a video game.
Yeah, if I'm ever in like on a Twitter thread or like a YouTube video and I see some comment from somebody that's like, why don't these gamers just get a real job or whatever? And like, instantly, I don't care about that person or that comment because that they just said how much they don't know about what goes on in this field. Like they just exposed how little they know about this world instantly with that comment. So like, oh, cool. Yeah, I don't have to care about your opinion on this because you literally don't know what you're talking about at all.
Yeah.
Because you're an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like telling like Ludwig or these other like really top trainers, like, why don't you get a real job? It's like they literally make more money than you did in 10 years. They made more than that in 1 year.
Yeah.
So what do you like? What does that argument even mean? Like, doesn't mean anything, right? Anyone in the top 1%, anyone in the top 1% of their field will make more money than the rest of the 99%, right? So you could go to like any CEO and be like, why don't you get a real job and do doctor stuff and go help people instead of sitting in a chair and telling you, oh, buy this instead of that. Like, no, like a job is a job.
Yeah.
Well, I think those questions always come from a place of like the self, right? Like when they're asking, oh, why don't you get a real job? It's like, oh, why do I have to have a real job? Why can't I be doing this?
Yeah. It's a little anger, jealousy, ignorance.
Yeah.
And fear.
Absolutely.
A lot of fear, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially because whenever it comes to any creative field, me and Lex have experiences with acting and anybody that does music or any kind of art, really. It's like there's always this idea that there's so many people that look at it as like, don't do this. This isn't a real job. Like go to school and get a business degree on whatever. Like it's this constant thread of people. So then there's so many people that don't pursue their creative interests and just like go to law school and then end up as a lawyer. And then they look at people who did pursue that creative interest and they get really mad that they didn't do it. And then they try to take it out on that person that did. And it's like, okay, they like that other person still had to do a shit ton of work to make that even remotely successful. So they just went a different path than you. So don't be mad.
What idiot would go to law school?
Did you go to law school, Robert?
I didn't just go. I graduated.
Congratulations.
This man is a lawyer.
Julia almost went to law school, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, fuck off.
You escaped. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
Well, that's part of what it is to be a Soviet child.
Yes.
When you're 8 years old, your parent sits you down and is like medicine or law, and then decides for you whether or not you're squeamish with blood. Okay, maybe law school's better. Basically holds you accountable to every single thing you do from that point on in your life and in your education being a step towards that goal that they decided would be the best thing for you. And at one point you realize, oh, wait, no, hold on. This isn't what makes me happy. Let me try to rebel a little bit. And then there's always like a little bit of a pee your pants moment, but then you do it and you feel so much better.
Verbatim. I literally said this. I think it was in a Minecraft episode, right, Chris?
Yeah.
And I was talking about this. And it was like the exact same thing. It was like, it's either medicine or law. But I think I threw in accounting in there as well. And I was like, I hate numbers and then I hate blood. So I guess law school it is.
Yep.
It's like literally the same thing. And I said that. I said I think it's a first generation immigrant like story.
Yeah.
You come 100%. To America and you got to choose between the top three professions and that's all you can do.
Yeah. I think it is an immigrant story. And I think specifically with us, I think part of the communist regime was getting a parenting handbook. And this was one of the chapters. That's why we all experienced it.
Listen, they have to be a lawyer or they have to be doctor.
My oldest cousin is a doctor.
Yeah, they see. It makes sense.
Man. No. Soviet kids.
And I'm proud to be an immigrant where I only have two choices.
Yeah. Yep. No. That sounds about right. But look at us now.
Look at us now, making ha-has on
There you go.
Making ha-has, living the American dream.
Paying off those loans.
Oh.
Or deferring them until you die.
Until January, the end of January 2022. It's when the COVID stoppage of loan payments stops.
Are we back to the existential portion of the...
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Right on track.
Cool.
Boom.
Oh, man.
That's what we do here.
Yeah. So what is the future of CoOp Comedy?
What a great
Billions
question
of
you
dollars.
ask.
Create a cryptocurrency and then get real rich and then just sell it all and cancel everything.
Haha bucks.
Invest your haha bucks.
I mean, that would be the ultimate comedy long
Scam?
con.
Oh, yeah.
That would
Well,
be
I mean, I feel like
MLM.
if you just throw a veil of comedy on it, it is a little more forgiving.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
because then we'll just be like, it was a joke the whole time, and then when people
was a
start taking
prank,
it
bro. It was a
seriously, yeah,
I spent my life
You
savings
just don't get my comedy.
You guys are like old and like wrinkly and on your deathbeds, and you're just like, "Hello, everyone, we gotcha."
I always wished I was
reveal.
patient enough for a long con, but I get so impatient. I'm like, I want to see you react right now.
You do that with like gifts and things.
Oh
too.
yeah,
You're like,
I have no.
I got
chill.
you this thing that I'm not supposed to give you for 3 months, but what if you open it now?
What if?
No chill at all.
See, I love a long con, but I have to trick myself into it. Like, I have to strategize it in my mind.
You have to long con yourself?
Yes.
Self-con.
I'm like, okay, this is the outcome that I want, and this is when it's going to happen. What are the steps that I need to keep up with it? And then I put calendar invites or calendar reminders into my phone, and I literally just forget about it. Like, I do everything I possibly can to distract myself and forget about it. And then the little reminder will come up and be like, oh yes, I have to plant this seed. And then I'll try my best to forget about it again, and just totally weed helps with the short-term memory. And then ultimately it's like, oh, it's time.
Here we go.
So,
Hey, guess what? She looks at the phone and got the notification. I killed your cat. Long con. Something crazy.
I would love to see your calendar and just all of the like mischievous things you have plotted out.
I bet you would.
I mean, I do love when you've like accidentally put your like personal stuff on the Peony like schedule. I'm like, hey Julia, FYI, don't forget you have class on Tuesdays at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So as long as, you know, any of your plotting isn't on that, I guess we're okay.
I'm going to put my personal things on CoOp Comedies.
Good to know. Good to know that you look at that calendar.
I do. I know I'm terrible at looking at calendars.
Good to know. No.
Oh,
you keep looking. And just continue to believe that everything on there is
accurate.
factual.
The long con begins.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, is this the start of a long con? Just making me paranoid? Cool. Thanks, buddy.
Don't worry about it. She'll forget
That's where
tomorrow.
it begins.
Yeah.
I also will forget.
Huh? I don't know.
Huh?
What was the question?
The future of co-op comedy.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot we went on a tangent. It was
Yeah.
jokes with that.
That's the future of co-op. Forgetting. No, I don't. I feel like it's really hard to say what the future is because, like, each of our own streams individually on Twitch have like gone through so many changes and shifts, and we've adapted to so many things over time. That and co-op has done the same so far, even in the 9 months that we've been going. Like if you would have told me when we started co-op comedy that we'd be doing reaction content, I'd be like, no. And that's like far and away our most popular content, hands down, not even close. That is like carrying our channel. And so like, just, I don't know, I think we're both very open to experimenting and trying new stuff with it and seeing what works for us and what doesn't. So it's like, I think our goal that we're just going to continue to focus on is just make people laugh. In whatever form that takes. So,
yeah. 100%.
Would you guys ever do live shows?
We have. I think we've done like a handful of.
No, I mean like in
theater.
Person. Oh, I
like
would
a
love to do
variety
that.
show or like a stand-up show or something.
I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd be good at it, but I'd still do it.
You'd be great. Don't even worry about it. You just put on a wig and we'll go.
A wig? What's wrong with my hair?
What other kind of
putting on
impressions do you do? I don't know why Mrs. Doubtfire immediately came to mind.
No. I miss that world because I used to do comedy before the pandemic, and I miss that stuff. So I would love to do live shows as co-op comedy, whatever weird stuff that would look like.
I think it would have to be improv.
Yeah, just be improv.
Puppets.
Puppets.
I'm just picturing Oh Hello on Broadway from John Mulaney and Nick Kroll, which if you haven't seen it, very strange program, but really enjoyable.
I love that you called it a program.
It is. You watch it. It's the best word.
Okay.
It fits. It fits.
I had the pleasure of seeing it on Broadway.
Really? Oh, it is an experience.
It was the strangest sensation in my body.
It's Robert. You gotta watch it. Everyone should you gotta experience it. Oh, hello.
Wait, that's my catchphrase.
It is. You say that all the time.
Oh, hello.
He does. That's one of my favorite Robertisms. We'll be playing a game and an enemy will appear and just very calmly he goes, "Oh, hello."
That's my startled impression. Oh, hello.
Very calm.
I'm still polite.
Yeah, he's so polite to this creature that's trying to kill him. Just, oh, hello.
Oh. Very polite to strangers, very cruel to friends.
Yes. Yeah. That's Robert
hello. Shut up.
Yeah, if I'm nice, we were not that close. If we're mean, then I fucking love you.
That's the most millennial thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. It's a pretty millennial love language, I guess.
Dead again.
But they're like every time they get frozen, they get frozen a little more in the same position.
Yeah.
And now they're totally synced up.
They both have the same face.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back now.
It was Chris, listening to you guys.
Criticisms?
Oh, I'm sure I do. I don't know what they would be off the top of my head. Running off on my own, apparently.
Yeah, that's one. All right, get wrecked.
Get wrecked. I do say that a lot. I don't know where I think I got that from you.
Me?
And now I've taken it and made it I feel like I heard you say that once and I was like, this is what cool kids say. Get wrecked. I don't know what
cool
that was
kid?
about.
I'm a little older than you. You should be the cool
look, but
kid.
when I met you, you knew about sports and you were like a lawyer. And I was like
a big brother
stuff
now.
about the world.
My big brother knows about sports and lawyerisms.
Look, I have a very warped idea of what's cool because I was also bullied as a child. So.
High five. Hey. I always wonder if we'd be friends as youths.
Yeah, I think
you guys ever wonder that? The friends you have now, you're like, if this was 10 years ago and we met, would we be friends? Or would we bully each other? Or would one person be the bully? Or we just never cross paths? I'd be like, I'm not talking to that dork. That guy's fencing over there. I'm not fucking with him.
I literally did sword fighting in high school.
I know, that's
so
why
that
I said
would
it.
be me.
Yeah, you fencing nerd.
It wasn't even fencing. Fencing would have been cooler.
I'm too busy wearing a Speedo in the pool.
Oh yeah, this swimming kid over here.
He's like, you did sports. Man, I swam, bro.
That's still a sport. Sports for me was the sword fighting, which was fake. It was literally called mock sword fighting.
Any other sport. I didn't get into the basketball team.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed, is this exchange.
This is us before hitting record.
Yeah. It would just be this, and then all of a sudden I'd go, welcome to Co-op Comedy, and Rob would be like, what the hell?
We're in the middle of yelling at you.
You're in good company. Very similar vibes over here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
the way to go.
Very much on par with us. Having a conversation, then one of us is like, anyway, so this is the Peony.
It's the best way to do it.
What?
But you were saying something. I was thinking, because you were saying how sometimes you'll just throw a bunch of stuff out, or you'll try different things and something will hit that you didn't even think. And I was binging through your shorts, and I don't know what it is, but I laughed the hardest when you both just get surprised and excited about something, because you're both just like, oh,
Gorilla Man happy about video.
Yeah. Well, the reaction video to the Mario movie casting was.
You guys are going
good
deep.
times. It was funny because, yesterday, what's today? Today's Saturday. So 2 days ago, we did a bunch of reactions to the Game Awards. And so, I think afterwards, because I too, like Chris, was like, no reaction content. That's cheap views. I don't want to do that, because I don't find that I personally don't think that content is worth viewing, because myself, I don't view it. And then we had one, I think we decided to do it just for fun.
I think it was E3, which is a huge
it was E3, which is the
conference.
main one. And we're like, if we're going to do any of it, we should do it for E3, which is the big one every year. And we were just like, let's just do it for fun. Let's see what happens. So we did it. And one video popped up and we're like, holy crap. And this like video single-handedly was like carrying our channel to like reach like the high echelon of like what you need as far as like view counts to like be verified and be able to like monetize and all this other stuff. And so we were like, okay, that was fun. We actually did have fun because, and then I was thinking about it, I think yesterday, I was like, our reactions are a little different. And this is based off the comments we were getting. Like, I can't hear the trailer, guys. And like, okay, then don't watch your reaction content. Like, go watch the trailer by itself.
Yeah.
Because then I was like thinking, I'm like, okay, but people are watching reaction contents. So do they expect people to be quieter or just explode during the ooh moment? Because when me and Chris are watching, our comedy mind is continuously going and we're just shooting off bits and jokes at every moment. And that's what I would do if we were live watching it on my couch with him, right? We're just like make fun of everything I see and everything, like whatever comes to my head, I'm saying it. So I feel like we're still small as hell, but like, I feel like we have like this small niche of making fun of the thing. Like that's our reaction really. We're here to get excited because we do get really excited about things. But we're also just telling jokes as it goes on. Like every little thing, like who the hell is this? Like the Star Wars thing had a guy doing a drum, and I'm like, well, this is not Star Wars. This is ancient times. Like something stupid, right? Like it's not even that funny, but like it's commentary on what I'm seeing, and it's like, and so I feel like while reaction content can be just wait for and then now there's like what's the word, montages that are just people grabbing other people's reactions and splicing together that hype moment. And that's their YouTube channel. Like take everyone else's content, splice all the hype moment of people yelling about that one part in the trailer that was really hype and putting that as a video. And people watch the crap out of that because they love being excited with people. So I feel like we're doing something a little different where we're making fun of it and being funny and trying to make jokes about it all, while also kind of being excited whenever it's excited. It's not just quiet sitting there. Yeah. So I feel like I've opened up to the idea of reaction content as being a part of CoOp Comedy because it's a little different.
Yeah, because like reaction content on paper feels like I feel like what we're doing is not super creative. We're not like making high art or anything, but like when we're doing comedy, it at least allows us to flex some sort of creative muscle, and like reaction content felt like the antithesis of that, where it was just like you just watch it and you just go, wow, that's really cool. But being able to also sort of make fun of it and make jokes as we go has allowed us to sort of keep that co-op comedy vibe as we go, wow, that's cool. So that's 100% agree.
And it's by far the best videos we've ever had. Like views wise, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what people want. People want, like, attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. So it's like, if you can give me those bite-sized bits of authenticity, because everyone knows when you go to record yourself, so many people, and the reason why they don't put themselves out there is they'll play it back and they'll be like, oh no, something happens to a lot of us where we'll hit record and just lose our personality or like lose the delivery or something like that. It's happened to me a few times. I know it happens to a lot of other people. And then you judge yourself, right? You're like, oh, how do I sound? What am I going to look like when I put this up there? But like just going up and totally being authentic and shooting from the hip and giving these like short format videos of it, I think that's ultimately what people are gravitating towards. That's why TikTok is popping off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Shooting from the hip is what we do. Nothing's planned out.
I'm not going to explain it. No further comments. But yeah, no, I something you were just saying, that idea of like, you record yourself and you watch stuff back and you're like, oh no, I hate that. It's like, I find it so interesting how much that feeling of like judging yourself never goes away in any context, because like even me and Lex living together, both doing acting, there've been times when we've been in an acting class together with the same teacher. We're doing like different scenes or whatever. Or honestly, because we've done
the same scene.
Yeah, we've done scenes together in an acting class, and there'll be times when I'm like in the living room or like in my room or whatever running lines, and then Lex will come in or just be in the apartment and I'm like, oh, she's gonna judge me, or like I feel very self-conscious about like there's still that thing in my head. I'm like, she's literally in, like, she is your scene partner in the same class, but there's still that fear of like, I can't do that. I'm gonna do this later when you're not home. You know what I mean? Like it never goes away.
100%.
Where do you think that comes from?
Oh God, I think it varies heavily depending on what kind of content you're doing. Because I think like with Lex, and me personally, I think usually, as we were talking about earlier, it usually comes from yourself, right? It comes from something within yourself. Because I think for me, I never finished college, and I didn't like go to college especially for acting, whereas Lex went to like a 4-year university and like studied theater and like studied acting. So I think for me, there's always that thing of like, she knows what she's doing, and I am fucking winging every moment of this. So I think there's that always that like idea in my head of like, I am starting at square one, and they know what they're doing. So clearly they're going to be judging my technique. They're going to be judging this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that like in so many aspects of my life, but
comparing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I don't know if this makes you feel better or not, but I'm basically in debt because I spend a lot of it like in a class pretending to be like a goose or something weird. So that's all like theater school is.
Goose noise, go. Everyone. Best goose noise.
Okay, maybe not a goose. Maybe it was something else. Who cares?
I think that is an important point though. Like, I think we're all, no matter what our backgrounds are, no matter how well prepared we may seem to be, we're all just winging it. And we're all second guessing every single thing.
100%.
And sometimes you just gotta like jump off the cliff face first, Pocahontas style.
Just be best friends with a raccoon.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish, although.
What noise does a raccoon make?
Like little like I don't know.
Maybe.
Was that a peanut?
I don't know why, but I imagined a raccoon with like a Michael Caine voice, and now I know that
I'm Michael Caine. Where is your trash can?
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
I'm going to. So I'll just keep doing a raccoon, Michael.
Yeah, please do.
Madam, I grabbed the trash from the trash and I will nibble on it with my little fingers. Thank you.
I love
so refined.
Robert's impressions of people. My favorite is still Hagrid.
Oh, come on. Okay. All right. Okay.
The floor is yours, sir.
All right, I'm going to do my Hagrid, but only Lex can judge because she's a thespian. She will. You're a wizard, Harry.
That was better.
That's pretty good.
That was better than you've ever done it.
This whole time, Chris.
Not. There is video evidence. I will pull it up right now.
Wait, can you give us something else? Can you give us a little more?
Your Ray Romano is pretty good.
Oh God,
Deborah.
Yes.
Nailed it.
The kids, Deborah. I'm on a podcast. I don't know what's a pod. I don't know, man. It always just sounds like he's about to cry.
Amazing. Oh, you nailed that.
Thank you. Thank you. See, Chris, I'm vindicated.
I think the first time I ever saw one of part of Robert's stream was when Chris and Emma were watching you and you were dressed as Mario, but doing like a Ray Romano impression.
What? I don't even remember that.
Lost it. Or maybe I'm just blending two different streams. But
both of those things have happened, at least individually, but very probably together.
I'm sure if you guys ever need pitches or ideas for skits, this is where
comedy
you come.
skits. Yeah.
We'll make a wheel. We'll just make a giant wheel for you of like multiple layers, and you just like, or multiple wheels, and you spin like, okay, here's the location, here are the people involved, and then here's the conflict. Go.
I like that.
That is how in some improv classes they like, here's how you do a scene.
There you go.
A card.
There you go.
It's a good mythical morning territory with the wheel now.
I'm very into this. I'm committed.
All right, Chris, you hear that? Wheel.
We're going to get a wheel in the mail from Julie.
The long con.
Let me put it in my calendar.
It's going to be slow pieces. Like, you're going to be like, save this. It's like this piece of wood, like a cylinder. And they're like, okay, I guess I'll save this. And then later you get something else and something else. 6 years later, it forms a wheel.
You spin it and then a portal opens up.
Mm-hmm.
And Julia's head comes out. Gotcha, bitch.
Knock the chocolate milk out of your hands.
A long con.
Amazing. Where can the people find you?
youtube.com/CoOp Comedy or CoOpComedy.com. They both send it to
you. Got that
place.
domain.
COOP Comedy.com.
Dope.
And also TikTok, CoOp Comedy, everywhere else. Sorry,
TikTok. Yeah,
you're on TikTok. Okay,
we're on all the social medias, even though some may be used more than others.
Yeah.
Feel free to follow with your social media of choice.
And just your pick.
Yeah, CoOp Comedy everywhere.
So that was an amazing episode with Chris.
It was. It was such a insane time, and I'm honored that we got to spend that time with them. Aw.
We adore them. We adore them. Even though you and Chris kept freezing, and then Robert and I had to just improv fill the space.
That's what it's about, baby. Yeah, our internet's better now. That is what it's about. It's fine.
Amazing. So big thank you to Chris and Robert for coming on the show and sharing their amazing selves with us and our listeners. We have another fan favorite of the show that left us a voicemail.
Yes.
It's Finn. Spoiler alert, it's Finn. But I don't think it's a Ghost Witch update. I don't know.
Oh.
We'll just have to play it. You ready?
I am.
Hey, Peony. This is Finn calling. A couple episodes back, Julia, I believe you encouraged us all as your Reco of the Week to go find our favorite nachos and have them. And that got me thinking about what my favorite nachos are. And so it made me think of when I was at CalArts, I would often come down to the Alamo Rotisserie and get nachos from there. And they were wonderful and big and tons of different sauces and things like that. And they would do it with the roasted jalapenos and carrots and stuff, and it was always superb. So I was just recently up in Valencia for a work meeting, and it is a very rainy day, so I thought on my way home I would swing by the Alamo Rotisserie for the first time in a decade, and I'm so excited. And I just wanted to share that with you. I've got my nachos sitting here next to me, and I can't wait to get home and dive in. All right. So thanks for the reco, and keep doing what you're doing.
No.
I'm sorry. Bye.
Did you hear that? I think I pulled the phone away too soon. I love that he apologized, and he's like, no, this is how we end.
Bye.
Bye. Finn, I'm obsessed with you also, not to make this weird, but as he was I love people that describe food in that kind of way where they it's very sensual. And I'm going to be honest, those nachos, the description of those nachos, somewhere where I'm not wearing pants right now.
Your kneecaps.
A little around the ankles too.
Ooh, saucy. Like those nachos.
Oh, yes. Dude, nachos for the win forever, never, and ever. Reco nonstop. Listen, if we never do recos again, or if we do recos forever until we die, I think I'm just going to default to nachos for everything.
There you go.
Even if I have another reco, even if it's watch the new, watch Don't Look Up with nachos. Everything is going to be, it's remember when Facebook did or whoever did the thing where it was status update ... in bed.
Oh yes.
That's gonna be me, but ... with nachos.
Forever and always.
Forever. Thank you, Finn.
Yes, thank you, Finn.
I love that experience for you.
I hope they were just as good as you remember.
I hope so too. There's nothing like having a nostalgic memory and then having it truly delivered on. It's a transcendent experience. It's like finding your way to the middle of a crop circle maze and then being abducted. The tingles you feel as the energy
in your knees and ankles. Yes.
In your knees and ankles. Yeah, precisely.
Beautiful. So excited to go.
What if that's how they hoist you up? They flip you upside down first and then hoist you up by your
I was
ankles.
thinking a marionette, on all your joints. They just kind of lift you up.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
What if they just break you down into your atoms and then reform you?
Oh, like in Willy Wonka. Yeah, Mike TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was he just being abducted? But like from a very short distance? Yeah.
Is Willy Wonka an
Yes.
alien? We'll know when Timothée Chalamet plays him in the prequel, in the origin story.
Does Willy Wonka need an origin story? I keep forgetting about that.
He does, literally just to give Timothée Chalamet the role.
There you go.
That's it. This isn't Willy Wonka's movie. This is Timothy's movie.
I know.
Let's be real.
Let's be real. Timothy is probably an alien. I mean...
100%.
Cheekbones, please.
Yeah.
Otherworldly.
100%.
I think, is that it? I don't got anything.
That's
there
it.
we go. Happy New Year, everybody.
Call us.
Happy
Happy New Year, 2022. This is our year.
God damn it, Julia. If you just jinxed us,
Sorry.
I swear to God, I am going to get you haunted. Like, I will figure it out. Don't jinx us. Happy New Year, y'all. We love you so much.
This is our year.
Stop it! Bye.
Bye.
I swear to God, if you cursed us.